Imagine a city peaceful and vibrant, where laughter echoes in the streets and the skyline is dotted with the warm glow of life. Picture Kyiv, the heart of Ukraine, a city that encapsulates a rich history and a vibrant culture. The Dnipro River meandering through, adding a shimmering blue vein to the city's landscape. The golden domes of St. Sophia's Cathedral shining bright against the azure sky, a testament to the city's resilience and spirit. Suddenly, the tranquility is shattered. The once serene sky is filled with the terrifying noise of incoming missiles. The glowing skyline is now punctuated with the destructive force of war. The city's heartbeat stutters as the first missile strikes, the shockwave reverberating through the streets, the buildings, the people. The laughter is replaced with cries of fear and disbelief. The bustling city streets are now filled with panic and confusion. Families huddled in basements, praying for the nightmare to end, their faces a mirror of shock and terror. In an instant, life in Kyiv was turned upside down. The city, once a beacon of peace and progress, now stands on the precipice of a war zone. No one saw it coming, and yet, in the blink of an eye, the city's fate was sealed. The calm before the storm had ended. The attack on Kyiv was about to begin. But how did this nightmare begin? To understand, we must rewind to the early days of the conflict. Let's take a step back to the corridors of power in Russia, where a sinister plan was being hatched. A plan to exploit Ukraine's political vulnerabilities and economic instability. In the shadows, Russia's leaders were already strategizing, their eyes coldly fixed on Ukraine, observing every chink in its armor, every opportunity to assert dominance. As we delve deeper into this narrative, we find the looming threat of ballistic missiles, a weapon capable of inflicting massive destruction, a symbol of power and control, and an instrument of fear. Russia, with its vast arsenal, had a clear advantage. The stage was set for a devastating conflict. Unbeknownst to the citizens of Kyiv, the storm was brewing, the winds of conflict were gaining momentum, ready to unleash their fury on the unsuspecting city. As the tension grew palpable and the threat imminent, Ukraine was not standing idle. In the face of impending doom, the nation was desperately preparing itself for the inevitable. The Ukrainian government, in a bid to defend its sovereignty, was fortifying its defenses. Every available resource was utilized, every citizen prepared to defend their homeland. This was not just a fight for territory, it was a fight for their very existence. In the midst of this turmoil, a beacon of hope emerged. The United States, a stalwart ally, extended its support to Ukraine. Military aid, training, and strategic advice were provided in an attempt to level the playing field. This crucial assistance was not just about weapons and warfare, it was a symbol of solidarity, a message to Russia that Ukraine was not alone in this fight. The objective was clear survival against a powerful enemy. Ukraine, a small nation with a big heart, was determined to defend its land, its people, and its freedom. The nation was on high alert, ready to withstand the storm that was about to descend upon them. As we close this chapter, we leave Ukraine on the brink of a major assault. The nation, aware of the impending danger, stood stoically ready to face the storm head-on. The people of Ukraine knew that they were in for the fight of their lives, but they also knew that they were not fighting this battle alone. With their allies by their side, they were prepared to stand their ground, come what may. Then, the unthinkable happened. The tranquility of the night was shattered as the first missile streaked across the sky, leaving a trail of dread in its wake. The city of Kyiv, which had been bracing itself for an attack, was now living its worst nightmare. The brutal assault had begun. "Missile inbound!" came the frantic calls over the radio. The city's anti-missile defenses, already on high alert, sprang into action. A flurry of interceptors took to the sky, their sole purpose to shield the city from the oncoming storm of destruction. The night sky was lit up with the desperate dance of death and survival. Each successful interception, a small victory in a war that seemed insurmountable. But not every missile could be intercepted. The horrifying aftermath was a sight that would be etched in the memory of every Kyiv resident. Buildings that once stood tall were reduced to rubble, smoke billowing from their remains. The beautiful skyline of Kyiv was forever scarred, an eerie reminder of the horrors of war. The city, once bustling with life, was now a battlefield. Kyiv was left in ruins, but the spirit of its people remained unbroken. Even in the face of such devastation, the will to fight, to survive, to reclaim their homeland remained strong. In the aftermath of the attack, the world was left to reflect. As the dust settled over the broken city of Kyiv, The silence was deafening. The echoes of the escalating tensions that led to the attack resonated amidst the ruins. The power struggle that had fueled the conflict was now laid bare, a stark contrast to the quiet devastation. The international community was left in shock, their disbelief palpable. How had it come to this, they asked, their voices barely a whisper against the backdrop of the destruction. The once vibrant cityscape of Kyiv was now a visual representation of the urgent need for peace. Each shattered window, each fallen brick cried out for an end to the conflict. The world watched, their hearts heavy with sorrow, as the citizens of Kyiv picked up the pieces of their shattered city. The resilience of the human spirit was evident in every helping hand, every act of kindness. The attack on Kyiv was a stark reminder of the horrors of war, a chilling testament to the urgent need for peace. The world could only hope that this tragic event would serve as a wake-up call, a catalyst for change. Will we learn from this, or are we doomed to repeat our mistakes? The question hung in the air, a haunting echo in the silence of the ruins. But how did we arrive at this chilling juncture? The genesis of this dire situation can be traced back to the early days of 2024. Analysts reported that Russia, in a calculated move, was seeking missiles from North Korea and Iran. The key intent was to exploit a gap in Ukraine's air defenses. Ballistic missiles particularly posed a greater threat as they were more effective at penetrating or avoiding Ukrainian air defenses compared to their cruise counterparts. Fast forward to March 21st, Russia launched a chilling assault on Kyiv. Around 30 of these missiles, however, met their end in the sky, intercepted over Kyiv. But the damage was done. The aftermath told a tale of destruction, with images showing burned cars, destroyed buildings, and firefighters working tirelessly at the scene.